Chargers of the Game is an urban fiction book about what happens when someone gets sentenced to a crazy bid. They get sentenced for something they didn't even do. And I feel like to start a book off that way was crazy because typically people don't mind sitting down and taking a charge for something they were involved in, something that they did. But when a person gets framed, having to put their business on the side and pass it along to someone else, it's not exactly what most people want to do. So when this individual gets locked up, his name is Cooley, he passes the business along to his daughter, Mahogany. Now, Mahogany has been prepared for this lifestyle. She is about her business. Mahogany totes a gun and is not willing to let it off. You better not hit her car at the car wash because I promise you, she will sit here and make sure that you never forget it again, especially if you try to pull off without exchanging insurance information. Mahogany is about her business. She does not care how much money she has earned. No one's going to play with her. You're not going to sit here and keep her change at the gas station. She wants all of her money back. Now, she blesses you with something that's completely different, but you're not going to get one over on her, and you're definitely not going to get into a car accident and think that you're just going to be, oh, girl, your car is $90,000. You can afford it. She's going to up it on you. I'm sorry. This author does well, this author's from, I was going to say they live in New York, but I can't even say that. This author is from Harlem, New York. This book is by Arthur Knight. I believe this is a 3-part series at this point. This book is a very good depiction of what happens when people underestimate women being in positions of power. Sometimes people will try and get over, even your ex will try and get over that you have a child with because they get so used to just seeing you as, oh, that's just Mahogany, oh, that's my baby mother. I think what happens is when people become in such close proximity with greatness or with a woman that's really about her business, the more time that they spend up close in personal with you, they really forget that you're basically Rihanna. They really forget that you're basically Beyonce. Like, they forget that you're Summer Walker. They really just start acting like, oh, that's not Keke Palmer, that's just Lauren. First of all, women can be all of those things in one. So I really like seeing the journeys of Mahogany. There were 2 other people in the book that I really enjoyed watching them. I was really just focused on the women. I'm not even gonna cap. Outside of money, now I was focused on him a little bit because he sounded pretty cute and he sounded about his business and he sounded very no nonsense. I focused on him, but I mainly was focused on Mahogany, Tiffany, and the best friend Marae. I think this book had enough spicy scenes for someone that enjoys that, but it wasn't overbearing. Like, it wasn't like every other chapter they were cracking each other, like folding each other up like a pretzel. And I really enjoyed that. I enjoy a book that has a good balance. It's not too raunchy, it's not too street. Someone's not dying on every 3 pages of the book. I enjoy a book with a good balance to it. I also feel like I enjoyed the pacing of the book. I would say it wasn't slow, it wasn't fast, it was right in the middle. It was a book that was 170, I'm right on the money, 170 pages. So it does say that it took me approximately 3 hours and 24 minutes to read. I'm not the fastest reader. I do listen to books with the assistive reader built into Kindle. I know some people be like, I don't like the voice. I don't like hearing it that way. Listen, I already got to read a lot for a living. I can't focus my eyes on everything that long. So I am one of those people that enjoy assistive reader that's built in there. I love it when authors have their book set up so you can read it that way, especially if I'm not sure if the book is available on Audible. And I personally, I'm just not an Audible girly yet. So I really liked reading the book. I thought that the cover was very cute as well. And I also enjoyed this author's take on what is it like when 3 different women, like this one person, what is it like when they're constantly underestimated and they're constantly having to prove themselves? For another individual, what is it like when you're in a relationship with a woman and you're watching her be a boss and you're watching her come and go and do certain things? Like, I really enjoyed it. So this book does touch on different dynamics in a relationship, especially after someone gets cheated on. And it's bad enough when you get cheated on. But what happens when a baby comes out of that affair? Sir, when were you going to tell me you had a baby on the way? Like, at what point were you going to inform me that not only did you cheat, you got her pregnant? And it wouldn't sting as bad if I was able to get pregnant myself. But the fact that I'm struggling with my own fertility issues due to a traumatic event that occurred, when a man gets a woman pregnant and it was a result of infidelity, it really makes you wonder, like, how many ways could I kill this nigga and get away with it before the police suspect me as a suspect? Like, I wonder if my trunk is big enough to fold you up back there like a blanket and then roll you out off in Mississippi somewhere where nobody goes. And by the time they find you, you're going to be decomposed so bad that your thumbprint is going to look like it was just never there. Because don't play with people like that, especially people that really are genuine, people that are soft, people that they let their walls down to let you in the first place. So for you to turn around and cheat on someone that You know darn well you probably had to persuade me to want to deal with you. You probably had to really not only get my guard down, I had to watch you for a minute. For you to switch up and then cheat, ask your mother if she wants like a V-neck line on her dress. Does she want beads on it? Does she want a veil? Let me know what kind of black dress your mama wants. Because not everybody is going to play like that. Not everybody's going to just let you play with them that way. And then afterwards, to pop up at my house unannounced after I've already been ignoring your calls. He had a lot of nerve for that one. But what I enjoyed was watching the way that Money consistently pursued this character. At first, they tried to make it seem like Money was he was kind of he was sweating her. I'm not gonna cap. He was sweating her because there's a point where she's at the gun range and Money pulls up, and her response is, "I specifically told people to let me just be alone. This is where I come from. I pay some please. Like, this is what I did with my father. This was my ritual with my dad after we would do certain things. Going to the gun range is how I let off a few steam, let off some frustration. So, Money, who told you to prank your behind up in here?" And he's like, "Oh, I just came to check on you. Just because you keep telling me no and you keep telling me you're not interested, that doesn't mean I'm not going to show up." And I said, "You know what? All right, Money, go after what you're interested in." He was very protective over her. Very, very protective. I also like that this book didn't introduce too many characters. Okay? There was a good chapter to character ratio. Sometimes I feel like in some urban fiction books, I'll be reading and it'll be chapter 4, and I'll be like, are we on the 15th character already? Like, so that's whose baby mom, so whose cousin was who? I hate a book like that. I can't read no book that got too many characters. Because the more I try to memorize who is in relation to who, by the 10th chapter, I don't even give a damn no more. I'm sorry, I don't even care. So I enjoyed seeing that there were not too many characters to keep track of in this book. Let me know if you guys have already read part 1. I know part 2 is available. I believe part 3 is on the way. I might be wrong, but I feel like it's up there. Again, these books are available Kindle Unlimited. You guys know I've been proclaiming myself to be a Kindle Unlimited hoochie. If a book is on Kindle Unlimited, I'm going to read it. You can always head over to my website at allsbrooks.com to hire me to read and promote your books. If you would like to see your books on a digital billboard in a city near you, you can hire me for that as well. I absolutely love and enjoy reading books. I read books of urban fiction, psychological thrillers, horror. I'm getting away from the eroticas, y'all. I'm going through some life changes. I'm getting away from reading the erotica books just because I have realized that I was never really an erotica reader. I've realized that I don't mind a little speckle of spice here and there. I'm probably not going to read every single position that the characters are in. Probably not going to. Once I get the gist of like, oh yeah, I ain't here being nasty, I close the door and I go a couple pages over. So I'm realizing my reading preferences are changing. I'm not into the sex-filled books anymore. I don't know. I'm getting older, y'all. And that's not to say as you get older you don't want to read erotica. Some people start reading erotica and smut in their late 30s. And if that's your thing, girl, do it. I'm just realizing it's not necessarily mine. I do realize that I am starting to have more of an interest in reading Christian romance or Christian fiction, or I'm even getting into biographies. I have read Kiki Palmer's book recently and I was like, oh, okay, I really enjoyed that. So I am diversifying my books that I'm reading. We are still in Black History Month, so make sure you do check out a book by a Black author this month. Drop a title below and let me know who you guys have been reading. I'll see you guys in the next book review.